Hey guys, Tattoo for You Richard here, and it is time for a video. We're just going to call this a shout out video because it's actually two things for me. One, I have a lawnmower going off in the background. Gotta cut my grass. Snakeyes Wargaming on YouTube. I'll leave a link in his below in the description for his channel. He's been doing a lot of terrain stuff on there, and he had one of those old ones, I don't know how old it is really, but it was pretty much when I was out of the 40K hobby, out of the gaming hobby. Games Workshop came out with plastic terrain pieces, and it was a rhino blasted ground like that, and they had some craters and stuff they came out with at the time. I missed out on all that stuff because I was out of the hobby then. And I was like, oh, so I was talking to him in the comments. It was really cool. I was like, I had some of the old foam terrain. And he's like, oh, neat. He would like to see it. So I decided, I've been wanting to do this for a minute, but kind of cataloging all the terrain that I do have and seeing what all I have and, like, could I do a decent table with it. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go through and I'm going to kind of display my terrain to show you what I have. Not all at once. I'll do them like segments at a time because my table is trashed. It'd be nice if I could lay it all out and just see what all I have. But we'll just do it pieces at a time, or groups at a time. And so yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go table down. We'll do that. And you can kind of see what all I have to do. You know, what all terrain I have. And then I'll point out the foam stuff for... I'm trying not to knock something off this table here. I'll point out the old Games Workshop foam terrain. Some of you might recognize it. See, like this isn't Games Workshop. This is an old piece of... It's a hill. I have a few of those. So, yeah. Let's go table down on that and check it out. Shall we? Alright, guys. So, here's what we're going to do first. First is this stuff. This is Games Workshop foam terrain. I got this back in the day when I worked at Lone Star, the comic book store. They had several sets come out. There was this set, which was just a ruined building set, which is pretty cool, like really nice pieces. This guy here, I put this snow on it for a reason. I wanted to have some snow terrain, and I wanted this to be it. So I'm going to go back and do the same thing with all these pieces as well, and then make a couple other pieces to go with it out of regular styrofoam. Because this is going to be the terrain I use for one of my daughter's battles when we play. But yeah, so I got this stuff here. It's all just this heavy foam. And it will break because one of my other pieces over here broke and I had to glue it back together. But yeah, it's a nice foam terrain piece. It's all the one uniformed color. This gray, like they did it, I guess they sprayed it black and then went over it with the maybe one mist of a light gray to kind of highlight it all. So I mean, I could go back here through here and dry brush this up a little bit, lighten it up. I added some little I had some medium there just to see what it looked like, see if it can make it look like water, and I messed around with it. But yeah, I could go through here and do some more detail work on them, really bring them out, especially things like this, like this piece here that has the barrels on it. Go through and paint those barrels red and make them stand out a bit, and this I-beam in here, and then do something with the ground texture, add some greenery to it to kind of really give it some depth and stuff. Here, like the sandbags, they have sandbags in the windows on these. Go through in there and paint them tan and stuff, make them look like actual bags of sand. But yeah, really there's a lot of stuff I could go through in here and do with it. Now, like I said, one of them is add the same thing here, more sandbags. Oops, sorry, more sandbags and wood and things like that. They use just to make barricades here. I'll show you like figure scale on these guys. Where's a good guy? Here, we'll use one of these cats. So here's a Scion kind of poking out throughout there. What they would look like on them. They get some decent cover. So one of these pieces with the windows. They can kind of poke out throughout there. Don't fall off, but they're not supposed to be flying pieces of terrain. Actually, I guess they are now with the new rule or whatever. But yeah. So then you can even tuck them down in there further, so they're a little bit lower. So you can shoot out this window over here. So yeah, these nice pieces of terrain. Like I said, they came out with several. This is the ruined building terrain that they had. And then they had, where is it? A piece for fantasy, but you can use it for 40K too as well. But they have this ruined piece right here. So just like a tower, like an old, I say an old wizard's tower or whatnot. Really cool piece. If I ever got into Frostgrave, I could add snow to it and make it all snowy and stuff. But now there's put more models on here for scale again. You got the little assassin in there guarding the temple. And these guys walking around here. You got your steps. Not bad. Not bad little piece of terrain. That door's off scale a little bit. Actually, it's probably about his height. But yeah, another really good piece. Kind of get close to little details. This was pre-flocked too. The dog hair is extra. That got added later on when it got to my house. But I'll have to give him a good dusting. But it's another one I could probably go through here and bring out some textures and stuff. Do some stuff a little different to kind of highlight out the bone, the skull in the middle a little bit more. Maybe even go through here and do some glowing effects in the runes. What else is on here? Like the wood doors. Do that on the wood doors. There's details on the outside. It's the detailed textures on the walls and stuff look really cool. This, I think, was a mess up in the foam. But still looks alright. Yeah, like in here, there's another one. Those look like those are books. Though I don't know what that is. It looks like it could have been books on a shelf, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. And then there's like the heads over here in this corner. On the wall with the books. So yeah, that one. And then this is the last piece of foam terrain that I have for Games Workshop. It was their hill set. And actually it's like broken. Like that one of the piece broke off, and I actually used that on my one of my crisis suits, the Forge World crisis suits I have over there. I just glued it to his base as some base effect. Now these are heavily flocked, and it's starting to wear off in spots, as you can kind of see here. Like, as a matter of fact, it's probably coming off as I brush it. I'll probably go back through here and get all the hair off of it first. But then maybe go back through here and spray down some PVA glue. Watered down PVA glue to kind of seal it a little bit better. Just so it sticks on there good. I don't know. Or I could just get it all off and flock it myself. Maybe add gritty texture on there. But then it came with this piece too, like an extra little small piece. Small hill. And you could even put it on there to kind of extend this one up. It would fit on there both ways, both sides. Just to kind of give you a little extra height and depth. So yeah, so that's it from my foam terrain that I have for Games Workshop. I do have more hills. They're a different color. They're this dark green color. And they are so stinking old, man. They are falling apart. Big time. Stacked up over here out of the way. It's cool to have all this stuff, but it's not fun when you don't have enough room for everything. That's for dang sure. So yeah, so I have 2 large pieces. Get this guy out of the way too. Stark. So we got the two large pieces of terrain. Like, one's a really like this shape, and then that one's, I think it's honestly a little bit bigger. Yeah. So you have 2 of those, and then a couple little smaller stack-on pieces. And this one, I don't even know if this one goes with it. No, this is a whole nother piece. I don't know where this came from, honestly, at all. This is a whole separate one. but it's all grungy and gross too. Like it doesn't even, yeah, it fits. I can put it on this one. So I got more hills, which is cool. But there are these ones with a weird vertical incline, so it's really hard to get a model to stay on it. You have to kind of have them hovering on the outside. So I have plenty of hills to do stuff with. Then again, you can never have enough hills. Terrain is probably the one thing in our hobby that you can never have enough of. You can always use more terrain. I mean, why not? So now we have more Games Workshop terrain. I actually got the Honored Imperium because there was stuff I wanted to do with it. So let me kind of zoom into this. Oh. There we go. So yeah, so we got the little piece of the ruined building, which I'd like to get some more of their building stuff because I really like it. It's really cool. And then of course we have the glorious Space Marine. And I did them on marble bases, like green marble. I actually did a video of that, how I did it. Turned out pretty good. I liked it. Some people said it looked more Necron-y than anything, but I don't know. I'm happy with it. I'm pleased with the way it turned out. Probably should have dusted everything before I did this. But yeah, then we have the Aquila, the broken Aquila. However you say that. Probably saying it wrong. I sprayed these with a gloss varnish because I wanted the marble to shine, and I was going to go back through and brush over, which I did, and it still didn't dull out the rocks. So the rocks have a kind of a gloss shine to them too. So got those three things. Good pieces of scatter terrain. Let's kind of stick on Games Workshop for a little bit. But then I have tons of these. Actually, I'm going to pause and set these up. Alright, so now I got all these too. This is from the Lord of the Rings set. I actually have the other couple pieces of this somewhere lying around here. I don't know where they went at the moment. But then these are all these ones. Yeah, they're all super dusty. But they're from, what edition was that? Whenever they re-released the game, one of the editions, it came with a set of plastic terrain. And some of this is from that, and in other words, they eventually put them out on there separately for you to buy them individually. So it's a set from the game and a set that I bought individually. So it's got all the little, some corners with, what do I got here? Let's just do this so I can count them. So I got 2, 4, 5 sets with the ruined floor in it. Which is, it's cool, but you can't go underneath the floor. So you can kind of go up, but that's about it. Oh my goodness, Stark. So I have 5 of those. And then I think I have 4, yeah. And then I have 4 without floors on them. And you could, I broke off this one. And broke off this one. And that one. I think I broke them all off. I think they all initially had floors, but I took them off. But yeah, so I've got 4 of these. So I got good little pieces for some building terrain. I need to go around and actually paint these up. Get them sprayed down black and just do a quick deal on them. Just some dry brushing and stuff just so they're done. I have a bunch of these as well. If you guys remember that they came out with, Games Workshop came out with cardboard terrain, and these pretty much bulkheads and stuff were used to kind of slide them into and put them together and kind of reinforce them a little bit. I have quite a lot of these. And what I'm going to use these for later on is just for building terrain and stuff. Like when I was thinking something like this for the inside of my shuttle bay. I'm going to do this giant shuttle. And I want to have one of these, like this would be how they would go up to the top. And I have another railing system up top. That's pretty much why I kept these. So that is it. Let me do some terrain that I made myself. Again, like I said, this is to catalog things I have. These are just like scattered terrain pieces. Some of this you've seen, some of it I don't know if you have seen or not. I got the original digestion pool, the remade one somewhere around here. It wasn't with all the other terrain. But yeah, so I did videos on this because I wanted to show how to make use this cheesecloth and soak it in PVA to do like a canopy, a tarp. And then I made this little kind of bunker thing out of it. And then I had shown the same thing on these sandbags right here. So I did a video on those. This was the sandbag video, how to make the sandbags and how to use them. And then my barrels. And I think this barrel right here was one that I used on a how to weather video. And then another piece of scatter terrain. This one, I never showed this on a video. I don't even know if I showed it really. But I was trying to come up with trees on my world, since it was more like a swampy kind of world. So I wanted something that looked like a mangrove tree. So I made this is actually out of coat hanger, bent coat hanger, and smaller wire, like paper clips and other small wires I had wrapped around for roots and stuff. And then same thing for like the branches up in there. Then I wrapped it with floral tape, really tight and snug as much as I could. And then I sprayed it and primed it, and the floral tape kind of gave it this cool little texture, weird tree texture. And this is just lichen on top that I soaked down with PVA glue. It's still starting to come off. I'm kind of sad, like, because I think honestly this clump right here used to be up top here. So, but yeah, all this is on an old CD. So. Seashell and stuff like that. But again, it's a nice piece of scatter terrain. I need to make some more like this with this same kind of tree on it, so that way I can have like a little whole like mangrove grove. Mangrove. Then we have the digestion pool. You guys seen that? I did a video on that, one of my early videos. This is actually the one my daughter made. She did this. My oldest, who plays the Tyranid, she painted this one up. Did a really good job on it. And then we have this. I just glued it back together too, so I need to keep it. I have a bin that I keep big old huge black thing. I don't know what it is. I had it in my head a minute ago. I said it a second ago, and then when I tried to say it now, I lost it. But a treasure chest, a giant treasure chest of terrain that I keep stuff in, and this was in there, and it kind of, I had it on top, but when I was pulling it out, it got caught and broke off a couple of the antennas. This is just another scatter terrain piece of one of my Tao's probes, deep space probes that they launched out, and it crashed on a planet. And actually, this piece will be key, and whenever I get to my Tao's storyline and how they found their new homeworld. This terrain piece, this probe, is one of the ones they sent through to find their new world, and this is where it landed, and this is the world they ended up staying on. Now, the snow, if you notice, my other Tau don't have a lot of snow on them because the world's kind of, when they got there, it was snowy, but then later on they found out that it snows. You'll get there. I'll explain all that when we get to that point. But yeah, this is oh, look at that. Some of that snow's flaking off too. Made this guy. I love this guy. It's one of my favorite things. This funnest part was building this. I put this together a long time ago, and then I was like, well, what am I going to do with it? So I decided to make a little terrain piece out of it. Then the last thing I have to show you is I have some craters. These are old armor cast craters. And it looks like it was kept in a storage shed, so the heat kind of got to it. So this one's a little bowed and warped. Might go back and hit it with some with a blow dryer and see if I can flatten it a bit, get it to lay flat. Or I may eventually just base these, honestly. It'd probably be a good idea. But these came from Armorcast, plain Jane, nothing fancy. I think my cousin actually painted these up. Primed them and put the flocking and stuff on them, if I remember right. I'm pretty sure it was him that did it. Yeah, these are nice little pieces too. They're good, nice height to them. Armor Cast might still put these out. I don't know. They might still carry them. But I mean, worth a look anyway. Like I said, I might base these. They're good just to kind of lay it around, but I kind of want to base it and kind of build it up a little bit. And then that way I can go deeper maybe on the crater. At least maybe the bigger one. I may base this one so the crater's a bit deeper so you can really like hunker down in there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. All these wants to do's and needs to do's are yeah, they get me every stinking time. Something like that. Look, it's a triple layer. Booyah. The Great Sarlacc. So yeah, guys, that's it. That's my video, kind of all over the place. But really, like I said, I wanted to do this for me. There's other terrain I have, like things like this. Another armor cast piece that I just haven't painted yet. And then, of course, this piece right here that I made a while back. But it's supposed to be part of this terrain here. So it's going to have snow effect, and you notice that it's way different color too. So I may use this for something else. But yeah, so I still have other terrain pieces. I didn't show my big old huge towel base. No, just because it's huge and it's over there, and I know where it is. I don't think there's any other thing I can think of off the top of my head that I know I didn't show. But yeah, like I said, I do have tons that aren't finished. And of course, I'm going to make plenty more. So this is just to show me where I'm at and what I've got. And I've got a good chunk. But again, not enough. You can never have enough terrain. Anyway, guys, I'm going to cut this video now so that way I can get to work on stuff. I will talk to you guys later. Keep rocking that nerd life, my friends. See ya.